one of the things we're doing as we're doing home improvements is switching out the face plates. You just take them off, and then after you painted, you buy new ones and put them up, and you can get those pretty cheap. We bought some basic white ones that we're putting up like this to kind of contrast the brown that we painted in here. So, and then we're also peeling off the tape. See, the tape helps make the nice clean line. So that the paint doesn't get onto the ceiling. Also did it around the edges of the window, so that way the window frame is white on the brown wall. And then we're redoing the borders. See? I'm putting down white borders. Pulled all the old ones up. So those are some little basic things you can do. Replacing those with white. Again, you put up the tape and you're painting different colors. Like our ceiling is white, kind of hard to see, but and then the walls are brown. And so we wanted that to be contrasted. And so then we're switching that out. And then we have the white borders, and these are nice because they came in a builder's pack, and they're already white, so we don't have to paint or anything. Just cut them and put them up, and you can use, like, I got a little miter box. Okay, this is a basic miter box, and we're just using it temporarily, but if you had a workbench, you could actually screw this in place to make it much more stable. And this will help you to get 45-degree angle cuts, 22.5 and 90 degree or 0-degree angle cuts. And right now we're using it on a piece that already has a 45, but we need to trim it down, so we're just going to give it a 90 here on the end. So you clamp it in place. All through, clamp out, and there's the piece. So what ends up happening is you end up getting cut corners that'll look like that. Then you just fill in the gaps with a little bit of spackle, and you get the little middle pieces where the boards aren't long enough, or you have to cut off extra corners. So let's go see how if I measured this one correctly for this corner up here. So that goes right there like that. Then I hammer it in place, come back, put a little spackle here and a little spackle in the corner, and it's all good to go. Okay, pause it. Okay, so this is one of the pieces of border that I'm going to be putting up. And just one of the things I want to talk about real quick is different nails. You see I have two different basic nails here. They're both small head, both pretty thin. The main difference in why you would use one or the other is dependent upon the strength of your wall. And if there's any deviations in conformity and regularity to it. Like we have a couple walls that are a little, I'll say wavy, little bowed if you will. And with those you want to use the bigger nail, but I wouldn't go above a 6D 2-inch nail. The bigger the nail is, the more likely you're going to split the wood. The shorter nail that I'm using is a 4D 1.5 inch. But on this piece I'm going to put in 3 of these, and I'm starting it off of the wall because it's much easier to start the nails down here and then take it to the wall and just hammer with the nails already started. And you see I'm not putting it too close to the edge because again, the thicker the nail, the more likely the wood is going to split. And I'm not putting it too close to the narrow edge because I've actually already had one of these pop off. So right about here, about an inch from the side, and as close to the middle as you can get it. You just want to start it. You don't need it to go all the way through, and then you're good to go. The same thing you could use. I could use these on a couple places where the wall is really smooth and really even, and the ceiling or the floor where it's touching is nice and even. But these help dig into the 2x4s in the wall, so it'll help actually balance out the board and give you a stronger hold. Hey guys, part of the home improvement, hey Anna, get out the way. Part of the home improvement we're doing is we put in this new border. And to hold the border in place, I've used these nails right here. And what I want to do to get the nails a little deeper set is you take a nail set and you push them so they're even, so they're flat. And you can even push them in a little more so that you can just take a little bit of a putty, take a little bit of putty or a little bit of paste, and you put it right over there, and it'll help it blend in. So it'll be nice and smooth, and then you can paint it, and you won't even know you have the nails there. As opposed to the nails when they stick out, and you can see the head like that. If you paint over it, you'll still see that it's there, and sometimes the paint doesn't stick to the metal quite so good. Another thing I wanted to show you about what we're doing is that I think you guys had seen, okay, pan out, make it wider. You have seen that this is the color that we chose for the hall, and we left the white accents for the borders, and we're putting in borders up on the ceiling. If you look, you see that we also put some up top, and they're going around, and that way there's a white continuity. You see how it goes around the corner to the tan. So we got the tan around there, and then it's dark down here, so that they offset each other. The colors are a little different, but you have the white continuity that helps them blend together. And then all the other little accents around the house are going to be white. You're going to have the white face plates, the white switch covers, the white borders, and that'll help those colors stand out and pop. And I think that's something fun to do. We even did it with the windows. You can see the trim around the windows where the windowsill is white. And instead of putting more holes in the wall and using the curtain rods that hang above it, we got a tension rod and put the curtains on there and put it inside the window. So that way it doesn't make any holes, and it sits back a little bit, which is nice, so you don't have all that curtain hanging out, which I always find a little frustrating. You go to walk past and you're getting all caught up in the curtains like it's a giant brown spider web or something. But anyway, that's just some of the things that we're doing. Check back later. I'm going to show you how to use the miter box to help make some of these corners, like down here. See how this is, these two angles, see how these two corners fit together? And then what I'm going to do is put a little filler in there so it'll look even better. But what that does is the miter box lets you help cut those angles, because those angles can be hard to cut. These are both 45-degree cuts, and I got these borders here. They're actually made for windows and door frames, but they were actually really nice and cheap. So I bought those, and then you can, like I said, you can use them wherever you want. The only problem is that they're really short. The previous borders were actually probably about this tall. Let me move my slippers. Actually about that tall. So there's a little bit of difference. So before we put those up, we had to spackle the wall and sand it down, and of course paint it. But this way there's a gap between the drywall and the flooring, and this more than enough covers that, because the gap is only about a quarter, half an inch. But again, that's some of the home improvement stuff we're doing. Talk to you soon.